And while that is happening, we are getting a piece of breaking news related to Parliament, because we are now being told that Sonia Gandhi has cracked the whip on Congress MP from Thiruvananthapuram, Shashi Tharoor. Sonia Gandhi, sources telling Now India Today, has pulled up Tharoor for leaking details of yesterday's meeting between the party MPs and the Congress President and Vice President Rahul Gandhi. When the MPs met this morning, Sonia Gandhi expressed anger that whatever was discussed at the previous day's meeting had appeared in the newspapers. Shashi Tharoor had apparently said that he was against the idea that the Congress boycott Parliament, but instead should debate issues inside Parliament. Sonia Gandhi apparently warning Tharoor against revealing details of what goes on inside Congress meetings. Now, this is a new twist to this story. Joining me now, Javed Ansari, our executive editor. Javed, what exactly has happened? Has Sonia Gandhi personally rebuked Shashi Tharoor?
Yes, it's true. Mr. Shashi Tharoor this morning was given a rap on the knuckles by the Congress President, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. She was upset over the fact that what transpired at yesterday's meeting between her and the Congress MPs, portions of it, especially relating to what Mr. Tharoor had said, found prominence in one of the newspapers this morning. So she said that there is no point in evolving a strategy because this strategy becomes public, at which point Mr. Tharoor mumbled some kind of a clarification. But she didn't like it, and then at that point of time she told him, this is not the first time, it's become a habit. You've made it a habit to speak in public, and that too against party line.
But Javed Ansari, are we saying that Sonia Gandhi will not allow a party leader to express his or her opinion? That if Shashi Tharoor believes that it is wrong for the Congress to be disrupting Parliament, he is not allowed to express opinion? Is her problem with Shashi Tharoor expressing an opinion, or with the fact that Shashi Tharoor allegedly has leaked the information once he came out of the meeting?
She was certainly not against the fact that contrarian views were raised at the meeting. What she was upset about was that the part relevant to what Mr. Tharoor has said, the part especially what he had said to his views on not disrupting Parliament, they are the ones that were prominently displayed. So part of it was leaked, and this is what upset her. She was certainly not against members, members voicing their opinion on the subject.
Okay. We're going to leave it there. So Shashi Tharoor apparently being pulled up by Sonia Gandhi is the report that we are getting in at this moment. Meanwhile, we have to look at the larger issue. Tit for tat politics. Is that what is happening at the moment, and is that leaving Parliament hostage to it? That's my face-off at the moment. Joining me now is Manish Tiwari. He is, of course, the former Union Minister and spokesperson of the Congress. Sambit Patra is the national spokesperson of the BJP. Appreciate both of you joining us on the face-off. But Manish Tiwari, why exactly has the Congress now decided that you are first going to ask for a resignation on the floor of the House before you even have a debate? What kind of parliamentary practice do you want to follow, Mr. Tiwari?
Well, the parliamentary practice that we are following, Mr. Sardesai, is a leaf out of the BJP's book. If you recall, the leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, who's the current finance minister, had said that disruption is a legitimate parliamentary tactic. And the lady in question, who has been tweeting today, the foreign minister, ad nauseum on the floor of the House, used to repeat that walk out, not talk out, is our political philosophy. So therefore, unfortunately, the BJP sowed the wind, and it is reaping the whirlwind. And unfortunately, when
hold on, are you saying that if the BJP disrupted Parliament,
quite a bit.
Are you saying, Mr. Manish Tiwari, the BJP disrupted Parliament when you were in power, demanding resignations of your minister, you will do exactly the same? Is this some kind of a kindergarten game that is being played, or are we in Parliament?
Well, Mr. Sardesai, first of all, you need to understand that Congress is not disrupting Parliament. Congress, in fact, wants Parliament to function, but provided that the Foreign Minister and the Chief Minister of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh step down, because of the simple reason that you can't have Parliament going on when the Foreign Minister has been accused of abetting or facilitating somebody who is a fugitive from the law. And in the case of Madhya Pradesh, you have a situation that in a scam or in a criminal investigation, you have 40 odd accused and witnesses, dying in mysterious circumstances, and the gentleman on whose watch it has happened is not even prepared to step aside. And in the case of Rajasthan, Mr. Sardesai, you have a chief minister who ostensibly gives an affidavit to the British government on the premise that the details of that affidavit will not be divulged. So therefore, you have a complete subversion of the law taking place in all these three instances.
What you are saying in a TV studio, Mr. Manish Tiwari, what you are saying today in a television studio, why can't you raise it in Parliament? Raise exactly the same points. Why do you want Parliament not to debate this?
For the simple reason, Mr. Sardesai, that we do not want a talk out. We want concrete, verifiable action against malfeasance, which has not only been documented, but which has been admitted, at least in the case of the foreign minister. So therefore, we do not want a debate shop. We essentially want that action must be taken, and if the Bharatiya Janata Party believes in its own rhetoric, what they've been articulating for 10 years, maybe the time has come for Mr. Sardesai to actually start walking the talk.
It's interesting, Sambit Patra. I could have been doing this program 2 years ago, and all that would have happened was positions were reversed. You would have been saying what Manish Tiwari is saying, and Manish Tiwari would probably say what you will now tell me, because in August of 2012, Arun Jaitley on Colgate says, this is not a game of brinkmanship. We are clear Parliament cannot function until the Prime Minister resigns. He says on August 25th, 2012, there are occasions when obstruction in Parliament brings greater benefit to the country. What you said in the opposition is coming to haunt you now in government. Because the opposition now, the Congress is saying, first resignation, then discussion.
Rajdeep, as far as the words of Mr. Arun Jaitley is concerned, let me tell you, truth never haunts. And because truth was spoken by Arun Jaitley, it is not haunting us. I'll tell you as to how truth was spoken then. I agree with Mr. Arun Jaitley when he says that obstructionism is a legitimate method in Parliament. Even now it is a legitimate method. But let me borrow a few words from the respected President of India, who spoke recently in a function in Chennai and said that there are 5 Ds in existence of the democratic parliamentary procedures in India. The first being debate, then discussion, then dissent, followed finally by a decision. The last D is disruption or obstructionism. Please don't use the last D as the first option. And
Mr. Arun Jaitley has been quoted in Parliament as saying first resignation, then discussion.
Let me complete, Rajdeep. And as far as the cases in which Bharatiya Janata Party went to obstruct the parliamentary functioning, let us look at the face value of those issues. Number one, in the 10 years of rule from 2000 to 2004 to 2014, in this 10 years, the issues that we raised on the Parliament: number one, the Colgate scam; number two, the 2G scam; number three, the CWG scam. Now tell me, Rajdeep, hasn't the country benefited from this when we raised this issue? The Congress, in fact, was not even ready to spare their ministers, though these ministers had FIRs against them. Court cases were going against them.
Hold on.
They were going to the jail, in fact.
Hold on. There was Mr. Sambit Patra, Mr. Ashwini Kumar had no FIR against him. You insisted on him resigning and you blocked Parliament. Mr. Pawan Bansal was not named in an FIR. You insisted that he resign before you blocked Parliament. So let's be clear. None of you can take the moral high ground. But my limited question.
Let me answer you on that. Let me counter you on that.
Yes.
No, most importantly, Mr. Kalmadi, Mr. A. Raja, they had FIRs against them. As far as Ashwini Kumar is concerned, let me tell you, his position was untenable, in the sense that the Supreme Court, the highest court of the country, had asked him whether he had vetted the file. The Attorney General himself in the court had said no, the files were not seen by the minister. But the fact which came out thereafter was absolutely contrarian to what was submitted to the highest court of the country, that the minister had vetted the files, not just seen. The grammar and the soul of the file was changed. That's what the Supreme Court had viewed. And on this count, if he would not have resigned, it would have mounted to contempt of the highest court of the country.
That's your now view. I also want to raise the question of Sushma Swaraj. Manish Tiwari, today Sushma Swaraj has tweeted, virtually threatening you, that if you target her on Lalit Modi, she will expose the fact that a senior Congress leader also asked for a diplomatic passport for Mr. Santosh Bagrodia, former coal minister and a coal scam accused. Now, effectively what she is saying, if you hit at me, I have skeletons in the Congress cupboard that I will bring out. Are you ready for that?
First of all, Rajdeep, I find it very ironic, if not amusing, that Dr. Patra has chosen to invoke the President of India. You would recall, possibly Dr. Patra won't, that when the current President was the Finance Minister, in the February of 2010, the opposition led by Sushma Swaraj walked out of the budget speech of the Finance Minister. And if you go back to the website of your former channel, you would find that you yourself have put it on record, saying that this is perhaps the first time it has ever happened since independence that the opposition has walked out of the budget speech of the Finance Minister. And on what premise? The premise was that you are reimposing customs and tariffs on the oil industry, which had been taken away as a part of the stimulus package. So therefore, I guess before you start quoting the president selectively, it would be useful to rewind your own conduct. On the question of the External Affairs Minister's tweet, I think, Rajdeep, she should be our guest. You know, if she has something to say, you know, why say it in innuendo? Put it out in black and white.
Are you daring her?
She should give you an interview.
Are you daring her to name the leader? Are you daring Sushma Swaraj to name the leader?
I think my English is, you know, not that bad that you're not able to understand what I'm saying. And I was concluding, Rajdeep, by saying it'll make an interesting duet. You know, you went and interviewed Lalit Modi. If Sushma ji gives you an interview, it'll actually square the circle.
You know, no, hold on. Effectively, what is being suggested, Sambit Patra, is that if Sushma Swaraj wants to name the Congress leader who allegedly asked her to give a diplomatic passport to Santosh Bagrodia, Manish Tiwari is daring you to name the leader A, and B, just because such a passport may have been requested, that doesn't take away from the Lalit Modi case. Two wrongs don't make a right, Mr. Patra.
Mr. Sardesai, the country does not function from television channels and by interviews by prominent anchors. The country functions on the floor of the parliament. If Mr. Manish Tiwari is laughing out aloud, he wants to know the name of the people who have erred within Congress, allow the parliament to function. We dare you even today. You will know the names, and let me tell you, the names will finally lead to the final destination. After all, there's only one address. Just a minute. Let me complete.
Two wrongs
Please
make a right. Are we saying that Sushma Swaraj can claim that Lalit Modi's case is to be equated with that of a Santosh Bagrodia?
Rajdeep, you have to allow me the same amount of time that you have allowed.
Him with Santosh Bagrodia?
You have to allow the Bharatiya Janata Party the same amount of time that you allow to Mr. Manish to complete the view. So I have not completed my view. All I was saying is, number one, we are ready to name. Let them allow the discussion on the floor of the parliament. Rather than a particular television channel having interviews after interviews, the country through the parliament should know the truth. And I'm sure at the end of the day, the ultimate address of Congress is one. Finally, they are the ones who will be pinned down, and that's the reason as to why the mother-son duo did not do the proposed dharna that they were supposed to have at the feet of Mahatma Gandhi today.
Are you saying Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are scared of certain names that will come out?
Ultimately, everything in Congress, all deeds of corruption in this country ultimately leads to one address, and this address is well known to every Indian. It is Das Janpath. All corrupt deeds finally lead there. However shamelessly we may smile and laugh at it, but that is the truth. Secondly, your question, I believe the second part was, do two wrongs make a right?
Yes.
I would say, where is the wrong of Sushma Swaraj? Today the question was asked by Mr. Arun Jaitley. Please press the charges. Have a discussion, press the charge on which an investigation should take place. They could not press a charge. And I challenge you, even in the case of Rajasthan, you say that you have all the documents which proves that the Dholpur Palace does not belong to Dushyant. Please press the charges. Who is stopping you from going to the court? Who is stopping you from filing an FIR? Rather, my question is, where is Jairam Ramesh hiding with all those fraudulent papers that he had produced? Why has he been reprimanded by Congress? Why is he hiding?
Can I therefore conclude with this, Manish Tiwari? Am I to understand now that this is going to be the nature of politics? Your scam versus my scam. Your disruption versus my disruption. Is this what we have reached
in fact, Rajdeep,
in the state of our politics?
in fact, Rajdeep, I find it extremely ironic that the foreign minister wants to hide behind parliamentary privilege and reveal the name in parliament so that any judicial action cannot be taken against her. If the foreign minister has the conviction of courage, let her articulate the name in the public space so that the person she names, if he considers it appropriate, may take legal action. And insofar as Dr. Patra's diatribe is concerned, I would not even dignify it with a response, for the simple reason that these are desperate statements of desperate people who have been cornered not only by their own rhetoric but unfortunately by their own conduct. And coming to Parliament, Rajdeep, the reality is that Parliament unfortunately has become irrelevant to the political processes of this country.
That's a very sad thing to say.
Parliament has to rescue itself.
If then Parliament has become irrelevant to the political processes of the country, that's a very sad thing to be suggesting and saying, because Manish Tiwari...
Because for the last 25 years...
I have with me, interestingly...
25 years, especially for the last 10 years...
Sirs, I have with me 2 documents.
The BJP wiped out session after session and completely subverted Parliament. So
Sir,
therefore,
I have with me, Mr. Tiwari, just a minute.
You cannot now try and sanctify that by saying allow Parliament to function.
I have with me 2 documents, one given to me by the BJP saying the list of scams that they will expose of the Congress party in various states, and one which has been given to me by the Congress party of list of scams in the BJP ruled states. And I'm just wondering what kind of politics we are practicing in this country. Do both of you all believe this is the future of our parliamentary procedure? At this rate, how will Parliament ever function?
Well, unfortunately...
Can I answer?
Well, unfortunately, Rajdeep, Sambit, may I just complete, then you can respond in full.
Yes.
Please.
Rajdeep,
yes.
Dr. Patra said that we did a lot of public good by disrupting Parliament and ostensibly unearthing aberrations on which no court till today has given a judgment insofar as criminal culpability is concerned. So therefore, the shoe is on the other foot. We are also doing a lot of public good by ensuring that their malfeasance, their indiscretions and their criminal culpability is actually washed in the antiseptic light of the day.
Okay. Sambit Patra, before you accuse me that I'm not giving BJP equal time, final word then to you.
First, I would like to look at the contrarian view that our honourable friend Mr. Manish Tiwari has presented right now on your channel. He says that the Parliament has become irrelevant. And at the other hand, on the same breath, he says that, well, yes, if Sushma Swaraj wants to speak something, she wants to reveal the name of the congressman who has erred, or congresswoman who has erred for that matter of purpose, she should use the medium of television. So who are the ones who have reduced the Parliament irrelevant? Mr. Manish Tiwari, people from your party have reduced the Parliament irrelevant, and out of desperation they have done so, because today they are not in the kind of strength they should be in the Parliament, and that's the reason. And secondly, when you say that none of them have been convicted, Mr. Tiwari, let me remind you of the fact that yesterday Mr. P.K. Thungan, who was one of the famous ministers of Indira Gandhi's time, who continued during P.V. Narasimha Rao's time, has been convicted by court of law. Such is the long list of Congress's corruption that I said that Congress's corruptions live as fossil. They are fossilized. One by one they are coming up, and each one of them at the end would be convicted, remember.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. It's amusing, as I said. I've got scam versus scam, list of scams. No, hold on. I have to end there. I just feel sorry that today Manish Tiwari has been open enough to say that Parliament has been reduced to irrelevance by the nature of our political process. It's a sad commentary on the state.
It's unfortunate, but it is true.
It is unfortunate, but it's true. And who is
not pulled by Sonia Gandhi ji today.
I am not going to go beyond this. I just feel...
And the people who are responsible and the people who are culpable are the guys sitting in government today, unfortunately,
Shashi Tharoor today.
On this note, I thank both of you.
Dr.
It's good to have 2 eloquent speakers at the top of the news.
That's it. I find you that even in the first month of the assault, you've crumbled like a house of cards.
I just wish you would debate what you're doing on a television studio inside Parliament. That's all I'm going to say.
Government which is completely indefensible is a difficult job. I sympathize with you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.